What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Austin Ariel here. Today I'm with a very special SUV. This is the latest and greatest from Kia. This is the 2021 Kia Sorento. This is the X-Line trim. This is the big daddy of the Sorento family. This one has the bigger motor. This one has the lift kit, the bigger roof rails. This one has everything. It is loaded to the brim. It's in this beautiful shade of Aruba green. This one does have that beautiful rust interior package. And today we're going through this car and I'm gonna show you why this is the best way to spend $45,000 to $46,000. This thing is absolutely amazing. Kia has outdone themselves completely. And I'm gonna show you what this thing is all about. So this comes to me from Carriage Kia of Woodstock here in Woodstock, Georgia. This vehicle is actually one that's taken, sadly. So I get to show you this car. I'm actually not gonna drive it in on purpose because there's another Sorento with the same powertrain. I'm gonna do a video on that one and I'm gonna show you the driving dynamics of that one with this powertrain. But this one, I am gonna actually show you everything in terms of the ins and outs of it. So I'll make a separate video for the powertrain. So without further ado, let's get into this thing. Really quick, guys, before we get to the video, I just wanna ask if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that bell in the upper right hand corner so that way you get alerts every time I release a video. I've got cool things, whether it's a Sorento, Ferrari, you name it. I've got some things lined up. I've got a lot of good content coming your way, and I swear this year is going to be amazing. The car world is just absolutely booming, and I can't wait to share with you guys everything that I get to experience. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get back to the video. So let's start off with the front end. Obviously, this is probably the biggest area of improvement for the Sorento from Kia. Right off the bat, you're going to notice this huge imposing grille. It is the tiger nose grille that Kia is known for. That is their corporate grille. You do have LED fog lights down here. They're actually well bent into this garnish here, or well built into, really well integrated. I really like that. You do have your front parking sensors. You have these inlets everywhere because, again, this does have the bigger motor, that 2.5 turbo 4, good for 281 horsepower. And get this, 311 pound-feet of torque out of a 2.5 turbo 4-cylinder that runs on regular 87 octane gas. Absolutely amazing. Made it to a 8-speed dual clutch transmission. This is all-wheel drive. Really good numbers, really impressive numbers, and this thing still gets 28, 29 miles a gallon on the highway. Absolutely insane. Now, getting back to the front end, you do have the silver garnish on the bottom here. It is a painted piece, looks really nice. You do have this plastic garnish here, which is understandable. The X-Line is supposed to be that flagship off-roady kind of model, and you see those implemented everywhere in terms of aesthetics. You do have a front camera as well because this does have a surround view camera system. Really, really good. And then you notice the front is actually slanted upwards. Moving on to the headlight assembly, this is a full LED unit, as all Sorentos come with, but the upgraded LED unit that you get on an SX trim and higher does actually upgrade you to not reflector housings, but these are going to be projector bulb housings. And then this will actually turn into your daytime running light, but it also will double as your indicator. So a really fresh, really updated look for the Sorento. Definitely takes Kia in a new step in the right direction. Let's talk about that wheel set. Taking a look at these wheels, they are going to be 20-inch wheels. They are actually going to be a matte finish. They're not going to be gloss like other SX models. They are going to have covered center caps, so the lug nuts are not exposed. And they are going to be wrapped in these really, really nice Continental tires, the Cross Contact LX Sports. So 20s all the way around. Really handsome design. Let's move inside the Sorento because this is where a lot of the magic does happen. So right off the bat, let's look at that rust interior. So that is the name of this interior package. It is genuine leather, quilted, with this cream white contrast piping. Looks absolutely beautiful. Power driver's seat with lumbar support. And you do have a power passenger seat with lumbar support as well. You're going to notice in the door card, you've got a faux wood trim that looks really nice. Metal accents for the door handle. That rust interior goes into the door itself. And then buttons to control the mirrors, the power folding function, and automatic up and down windows in all four corners. Bose audio is going to be powering the sound system for this Sorento. And then over here you can see the new design for the vents, some safety features including the power tailgate, and then the steering wheel here. So let's take a step and look at the dash. Starting up the Sorento, you're going to notice the biggest change for the interior is probably going to be this digital dash. It's a 12.3-inch screen. Looks very high definition, HD almost. And then you're going to notice one thing that they've taken from the Telluride. Put on your indicator and it shows you what's in your blind spot. You do have the blind spot view monitor, which is really nice. You do have your lane departure system shown up in the middle, but you can always change whichever screen you want to see. And then you can always change based on what drive mode you want to be in. Really fast movements for the dash, which is nice to see. There's really no lag, so very clean look altogether. Over here, you're going to have the other bigger display, the 10.25-inch for the actual touchscreen. So of course you can do whatever you want with it. You can bring it to navigation. You've got all different features. These are all haptic feedback, which is nice. Same thing with this climate control center stack here. Very similar to that S model that I showed you guys. Dual zone climate controls. Like I said, in this area, you can always press home, slide it to the right. You've got all your apps here, navigation, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sounds of Nature, Passenger Talk, which lets you speak to the third row occupants via the Bluetooth microphone. And then you do have quiet mode, which turns off the second and third row speakers to keep everybody happy if they're asleep in a car ride. Climate, self-explanatory, so is setup. Now, one thing I will make note that because this is Kia's new infotainment system, you can make accounts based on who's driving the vehicle. Like I said, Bose audio, you have HD radio with Sirius XM, and then going down here, you've got your heated and ventilated seats, USB hookups. You will have your Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, wow, wireless charger here for your phone. It is a Qi super fast wireless charger, heated and cooled seat for the passenger, and of course the same split vent design. You have a tiered dash here, so you have that wood grain that carries from the door card into the actual dash. It actually does run behind the steering wheel a little bit, which is also a really nice sight to see. You've got a frameless mirror here. Does not have HomeLink, but it is an auto-dimming mirror. And then you do have this panoramic sunroof. Looks absolutely amazing. It is one piece. So why don't we look at here? We have these controls. You have your lock button for the center differential, different drive modes, shifter that is leather wrapped for the 8-speed dual clutch. You will have a heated steering wheel, auto hold, electronic parking brake, button to turn off the idle, stop and go, a camera button, and then the parking sensors button as well, downhill brake assist. And then if you wanted to, really quick, you do have paddle shifters on this Sorento model. So if you do want to manually shift and have a little bit of fun, you can do that. As far as switch gear on the steering wheel, it's very similar to other Kia models. You've got your radar cruise control, your lane following assist. You've got your selector for the menus, one-touch cruise control from the K5, and then of course your audio controls here. So really quick, I wanted to point out space-wise. So this seat, which is fully adjustable, if I want to scoot it forward and backwards, I can change the angle seat back. I have a ton of room in this, especially now that they've included captain's chairs for the first time in the Sorento. This is not a bench, and I'm gonna show you that in a little bit. But as you can see, I've got a ton of headroom, more than enough leg room. This seat is actually where I would keep it. I am 5'9", so just make note of that, but you do have that ample amount of space, which I know you guys saw in my Sorento S video, but it's important to show you guys even in this configuration. So let's take a look at what else is going on back here. So looking in the back of the Sorento, this is the second row, which now has captain's chairs for the first time. You have pockets on the side of each seat, armrests as well. As you can see in the door card, you still have that wood trim, metal accents on the door handle. You have a gloss black trim that surrounds the button for the window. Still have the cup holders. And then you can see you do have that beautiful rust interior color that goes into the door. It looks absolutely amazing. You will have the same buttons as the Telluride and the other Sorento model, the one-touch entry system to the third row. And you have that same button on the shoulder pad, so if you are in the third row, you can get in and out. You can see here, this has those rubber floor mats back there. And then the third row, I'm not gonna attempt to get back there, but I will say that it is recommended for smaller children, not really full-size adults, if you're gonna be there for a while. In addition to that, you do have these pockets into the seat backs, and then you do have the two vents for the rear, and you do have both your 12-volt power outlet, and then you do have your fast charge USB. And then you can see that panoramic sunroof that comes right into the back. So getting into the back of the Sorento, so if you look at the rear of it, you're going to notice this new split taillight design. On the SX trim and higher, these are going to be actually full LED. In addition to that, you'll notice a lot of styling cues from the Telluride back here. Another thing that I really want to point out, just like that S model, the wiper is built into the spoiler on the top, not from the bottom. It just cleans this up a lot, and actually, I think that's always looked really good on SUVs. Range Rover's done that for a while. Glad to see that other car companies are doing it. All-wheel drive, like I said, this is the X-Line Prestige. This one does have all-wheel drive. Sorento spelled out all the way on the across the back. You do have the SXT GDI badging. This is a turbo 2.5 cylinder. A lot of plastic cladding back here. Again, this is an off-roading vehicle also, so you do get that essence here. It looks really cool, not necessarily tacky, but I really wish they would have reduced a little bit of the plastic, just a tiny bit, so that way there's more painted body work on the car. Rear parking sensors built into the back, your reflectors back here, and your reverse lights back here as well. Silver garnish at the bottom, and if you guys notice, there's not any exposed exhaust tips, but there's not even a fake exhaust. They went bare bones with it, so that way you've got as much ground clearance as possible if you want to take this thing trail riding. So very well done, Kia. I will say, in addition to that, my only other thing that I wish they would have done is for the tailgate button on the actual tailgate, it's not under here. It's actually all the way down here. I really wish they would have brought it right underneath the Kia badge or something like that. That's just the typical place you'd put it on a car. Putting it all the way on the bottom there, it's going to confuse a lot of people. I'm sure once you get used to it, you get used to it. But on this car, I feel like they could have benefited more by putting it underneath here. So let's get to the inside of the rear and let's see what's packing in this Sorento. In the back of the Sorento, you're not going to find anything really interesting. It is pretty much a mini Telluride. You've got your additional speaker here for the Bose audio, tie downs, pockets on the left and right hand side, so if you want to store anything you can. Fast charge USB ports. It's very easy if you want to bring the seat down, just do that. And then you see you've got the release, sorry for the noise, you've got a release there on the right hand side for the left and right hand second row seats. So if you did want to release those, you can just press that. And then you do have a 12-volt power charger there, and then another fast charge USB. And then underneath here, you pull this little strap, and then you can see you've got storage space there, the jack, and then the spare tires underneath the vehicle, and the release is under the jack. In regards to the power tailgate, Kia did add an additional button here that's found on our K900. So if you press that lock button, it'll actually close the tailgate and lock all the doors. Otherwise, the button to the left will just close the power tailgate and leave the car how it is. All in all, I feel like Kia did really well with this Sorento. I will say, if you compare it to the Hyundai counterpart with the Santa Fe, especially their calligraphy trim, there are some features that you're going to find in the Santa Fe that you won't get in the Sorento, like memory seats, a heads-up display. The leather can be a little bit different because you can get Napa leather, etc. So you ask the question, why Sorento versus Santa Fe? Santa Fe is kind of that comfortable, vanilla-ish kind of SUV. If you've got an athletic lifestyle, an active lifestyle, or if you just want something that trades a little bit of feature for style, in my opinion, I do think the Sorento kind of wins in that aspect. The Sorento looks much more upmarket, much more aggressive, and it doesn't look as vanilla as, say, the Santa Fe. But again, you have to find out what's important to you. For me, it's a toss-up. I still haven't made up my mind. The Santa Fe calligraphy is a solid option, but so is the Sorento. So in saying that, I will be posting a video on this specific, not this specific Sorento, but a Sorento with the same powertrain as this one, so y'all can get the driving dynamics, or y'all can reference my Genesis G80 video because that one had the 2.5 Turbo 4. So in saying that, thank you guys for watching, and again, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell in the top right hand corner, that way you get all the alerts every time I post a video. So without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next video. This is Austin Ariel. I'll see you next time.